From the Weather NorCal Command Center, this is your morning update.
Daniels Roofing, licensed, bonded, insured roofing contractor. 45 years of generational expertise, offering a variety of roofing systems in the North State. Composition shingles, metal, tile, fire-safe wood shingles, and spray foam roofing systems. An energy-saving cool roof, perfect for commercial flat roofs and mobile homes. With other companies, you may get a foreman or a salesman, but with Daniels Roofing, you get Daniel. Call today for your free estimate. Daniels Roofing, 3 generations working hard to protect your home and business.
Good morning, everyone. I'm meteorologist Mike Kruger. This is your morning update, and we're going to start off with Kruger's Quickcast, where you can just get the forecast for the day in about a minute or two, and then you'll be good to go. And then you can stick around after that for a longer forecast, more detailed forecast, if you will. So let's get you out the door this morning on this August 15th. And, we're going to be looking at some more haze and smoke, especially areas east of the Boise fire. Still some fog and some low clouds along the coast. Temperatures, though, in the mid-60s for the valley this morning and upper 50s out in the eastern mountains. We take a look at Futurecast. We saw some of those strong thunderstorms, especially in Siskiyou County yesterday. I don't think we're going to quite see the amount of activity here for today. There were even a few showers, yes, believe it or not, around the Redding area as well. But again, I think anything we do see may be in the form of a stray shower here and there for parts of Siskiyou, Modoc, maybe even parts of the northern mountains, but really nothing to write home about. And really, we'll probably see more of the same as we go on into your Friday. The smoke, again, what's going to happen today is, you can see as we go into the noon hour, it kind of pushes a little bit to the south and east. We probably start to see it flare up again this afternoon. It's pushing more to the south and east later this afternoon and evening, and that could mean more smoke for the valley as we go into late tonight and into tomorrow, unfortunately. But today shouldn't be that bad. Temperatures in the low 90s for the valley. We're talking 70s and 80s for the higher elevations. But we do have those temperatures, it looks like somewhere in the low to mid 60s out along the coast. Obviously, one of the cooler spots there. Taking a quick look at your 7-day outlook for the valley. Look at that on Saturday. Is that true? A chance for showers on Saturday for parts of the valley? Certainly could be the case. Stick around if you want more details on that. But we are going to be looking at, of course, those cooler temperatures over the weekend before warming back up again for early next week. We take a look at your coast. Yeah, coast could even see a few thunderstorms as well as inland, and not to mention Weaverville. And then, of course, it all moves out by Sunday and into next week as well. Taking a look at Mount Shasta. So we've got some clouds, maybe a chance for a few showers here and there, but most of it should be here by Saturday. Susanville, Eastern Mountains, most likely remaining dry even during Saturday's system. And then it looks like on Sunday it dries out for everyone, and it stays that way at least through the middle of next week. By the way, as you know, I do a little bit of fire coverage here during this morning update, but a more detailed fire coverage update during Coffee with Kruger every weekday morning. If you want to watch that and watch a detailed forecast as well, you can watch Coffee with Kruger at 7 a.m. And if you miss it at 7 a.m., you can watch the recorded version. Just click on this banner right here from weathernorcal.com and you can watch it there. And throughout the day for fire information, just click on the fire danger section right here, and that'll give you everything you need to know, including any evacuation warnings and orders for the area. There you can see cooler weather lasts well into next week. We've got scattered showers, some storms on Saturday, and this could include parts of the valley. Yeah, stick around for that. We'll talk about that in more detail. Stronger winds going into the weekend, but no big heat waves heading our way anytime soon. And look at that air quality. Yes, that smoke is being pushed off to the east over Mount Shasta, Wairika, east of the valley in particular. But I do expect it to start to kind of shift a little bit more to the south later on this afternoon and tonight, and especially for tomorrow. Taking a look at the latest park fire perimeter. Now, again, one thing you have to remember is we get a lot of new data coming in shortly after I record this update. Unfortunately, the timing is not so great. So I just want to give you that reminder again that at 7 a.m. during Coffee with Kruger, we have the latest data coming in. So these numbers will most likely be different as you're watching this, but this gives you an idea where we were at least late last night and early this morning. 41% containment, that is certainly an improvement from what we saw yesterday at about 40%. But you'll notice here, this hasn't changed either. Mill Creek still protected, not to mention Mineral, and of course, Childs Meadows. So this is fantastic news. We just haven't seen a lot of activity coming out of the park fire here really over the last several days, and that's all really thanks to the cooler temperatures and higher humidity, especially humidity recovery overnight. Look at the Hill Fire, new information, 100% containment. We're not going to need to really tell you about this fire either. So Willow Creek, Burnt Ranch, Blue Lake, you can all rest easy at this point, although we really haven't seen that fire grow over the last week or so. All right, taking a look at the Boise fire, again, keep in mind, this is going to be probably older data by the time many of you are watching this, but this is as of 5 o'clock this morning, 8,622 acres. The solid red is 24 hours ago, the fire perimeter. This area is of red right here, kind of the outside perimeter here, is the latest that came in last night. So you can see some of that growth that we did see, especially in the outer perimeter. So it looks like mainly on the east, north side of the fire, a little bit on the south right here, and a little bit on the west side of the fire as well. But overall, nothing really majorly expansive. We didn't see a massive amount of growth. But of course, it begs the question for places like Hoopa, for example, what are we looking at on that distance? And with that little bit of growth, it did move about a half a mile closer, because yesterday at this time, it was about 15 miles, now at about 14.5 with that little bit of growth that we did see. But again, nothing to be really too terribly concerned about. We take a look at that smoke forecast, and as I mentioned, what we're going to start to see happen today, instead of more of an east-northeasterly flow of that smoke for today, look what happens as we go into tonight. We're going to see it start to make its way into tomorrow morning in the valley. Probably a bit smoky. You'll notice the air quality going down, even places like Redding, Red Bluff, maybe even Chico getting in on that. And then as we go through the day on Friday, that should start to dissipate and we'll see more of that flow. However, it looks like even Friday night, we're beginning to see it kind of push down to the south and east. So we may start feeling a little bit more impacts from the Boise fire for parts of the valley here over the next couple of days. So we take a look at your wind forecast. There, of course, is the Boise fire, much smaller than that, of course, is the park fire. But there you can see those winds, a little gusty, especially the west side of the valley, not to mention in the eastern mountains. Then we take you into your Friday. The wind's actually dying down overall, so it looks like we are going to see those better conditions when it comes to those winds. Now, the humidity levels, as I mentioned, we're seeing good recovery overnight. That is a major help. And another help is the fact that humidity levels are no longer in these single digits. We're well into the teens here for many areas, especially around the park fire. And again, even though 16, 17%, 15% is still low, it's not 5%. Again, and that is actually a bit of a help. So we look at the fire weather risk because of the higher winds for today. We've got kind of in that moderate to high range, especially the north and west side of the valley. Then as we go into your Friday, you can see just a lot of green on the map, a little bit of yellow for parts of the valley indicating that moderate fire danger, but mainly just greens and some very faint shades of yellow indicating low to moderate for some of those higher elevations. So again, the cooler temperatures, the weaker winds, the higher humidity, that's really helping. Now you can see that disturbance that moved through yesterday, giving some of those thunderstorms, a lot of thunderstorms and a lot of lightning strikes in Siskiyou County, that is. We did see just the tail end of that make its way into parts of the Redding area. Yes, many of you were surprised, as well as I was surprised, when I walked outside and even heard the pitter-patter on the roof. How amazing was that? That's one of those things where I don't mind being wrong. I know I was wrong. I didn't say it was going to rain in Redding yesterday. That's because it typically doesn't. It was just too dry, but we saw it happen. And that was, I don't think anybody was complaining about it. Even if you were caught in it, I don't think anybody was complaining. That was just a great surprise as that system moved on through. Now today, don't count on it. And take a look at Futurecast here. You can see right here the afternoon clouds developing in the mountains. Now, could we see a stray shower or maybe even a thunderstorm come out of that here for today? Not out of the question, but I don't think it's going to come this far south. Northern Shasta County, Northern Trinity County, yes, maybe, but don't count on it. Really the same story for your Friday. You see how the clouds are developing. We're just not seeing much in the way of shower activity, but look at behind me right here. You see this? This is an area of low pressure that's going to be migrating closer. Now, the positioning of that low is key to who sees rain and maybe even some thunderstorms and who doesn't. All right, so let's take a look at the long-range forecast. So that low pressure wants to bring it into Siskiyou, parts of northern Shasta County, maybe even parts of the northern end of the valley, Redding, Red Bluff, for example, western Siskiyou, Del Norte, Humboldt County. Now, I'm still including a chance for showers and thunderstorms on Saturday for Modoc County, but I'm going to keep it out of the forecast for now in the eastern mountains. But this is one of those stay tuned type of forecasts because we still have got to watch exactly where that area of low pressure is going to kind of move on in. Now, Sunday, it's all pretty much out of here, and then we should stay dry through a good portion, if not all of next week. But you can see an area of low pressure there, another one kind of coming in behind that. But we've got the monsoon moisture and the heat associated with that staying down to the south and east. But look at this. The Climate Prediction Center is kind of putting northwestern California kind of in the wetter than normal category. But keep in mind, the amount of rain that we typically see this time of the year, when we get into those light shades of green, it really isn't anything all that significant. But it's always a welcome sight this time of the year if we can get that rain without the lightning strikes, right? All right, so let's take a look at this. Here's the heat. There's the cooler air. These two are going to start to impact our weather kind of working together. And what I mean by that is, number one, this cooler air dives down to the south. Closed off area of low pressure, big broad trough of low pressure. All right, so that's the key here is this. This area of low pressure and this area of high pressure are kind of battling it out. They both want to be over Northern California. And who doesn't want to be here, right? We love it here. But we don't like it when low pressure, when the high pressure is over us, because that gives us the hot temperatures, right? Not to mention a little bit muggy too, because a lot of times you get that monsoon moisture coming in. But one of the impacts, couple of the impacts, number one, cooler weather, right? Because it's pushing that heat down to the south and east. But number two, with that flow coming around that low and the squeeze play between the two, we could be looking at some gusty winds. And I think Saturday could be the day we see the strongest winds. But you get the idea coming in from the south and west. Now, the good that's coming out of this is going to increase the humidity a little bit because it's coming off the ocean. The bad is it's wind. And we don't want wind, especially with any of the current fires. However, but again, one of the things that'll help offset that wind just a little bit is the added humidity from that southwesterly flow of winds. Because if we had that north wind, it would be even worse and definitely would be an area of concern. It'd be something we'd have to watch closely. Now, look what happens. As we go into Monday, Tuesday of next week, that low pressure kind of drives itself back up to the north. And then those winds still coming in from the south and west. Probably not as strong early next week, but that area of low pressure will then eventually kind of shift itself off to the east. But we have some of that cooler air kind of beginning to move in. So it's going to keep our temperatures most likely below normal. And then another shot of some cooler air coming in behind that, again, keeping those temperatures below normal, most likely through all of next week. So bottom line is this heat can't build in because we've got all of this going on off to our north and west, and that's keeping things at bay with our temperatures. So you can see a nice dip in our temperatures over the weekend. They kind of ramp up a little bit here, but the normal high for many of us in the valley is in the upper 90s. We should stay below that here, low to maybe some mid 90s in there as we go through next week. In fact, the temperature outlook is kind of taking us away from the blue and more of that normal to just slightly above normal. That's going out 10 days. I honestly don't know if I necessarily see that trend. We'll see what happens, but for now, we're going to keep it below normal here, at least through the end of next week into even that next weekend. The wave height's not that much of a concern or an issue, but of course, you can see here as we go into your Friday, not much change going on there either. There's your marine forecast. The bigger concern will be that patchy dense fog that we are seeing not only on the coast, but obviously over the ocean as well. Northwest winds at about 5 to 10 knots. Your waves from the northwest at 2 feet at 4 seconds and from the northwest at 3 feet at about 10 seconds. All right, here's your Trinity County neighborhood forecast. A bit smoky, especially for your Friday. There's the isolated showers and thunderstorms we could see on Saturday. And really, as we go into the coast here, a chance for showers, maybe some thunderstorms along the coast as well. Temperatures there in the mid-60s. We take you up north, looking at some showers, maybe some thunderstorms here for the inland areas as well, dropping down to 81 on Saturday, of course, with those overcast skies. That's going to keep those temperatures down. Mid to upper 80s, though, as we go through next week, and not to mention dry. Your Siskiyou County neighborhood forecast, showers, thunderstorms on Saturday. Keep in mind, both Thursday, Friday, we could see a stray shower here and there, but otherwise I think the bulk of any activity as far as rain and thunderstorms are concerned will be on Saturday. Now I have included a chance for thunderstorms on Saturday. We'll mention this. It will be few and far between. I think most of it will stay west of Modoc County, but I can't rule that out. I want you to be aware that Saturday could bring you a stray shower or thunderstorm. But for now, I'm keeping it dry in all of the eastern mountains here with mainly sunny skies. Temperatures low to mid 80s on average for the next 7 days. All right, here's your valley neighborhood forecast. Now notice Chico. I don't have any showers or thunderstorms for you on Saturday. But we take you up north. Look at Saturday for Red Bluff. There's a chance for showers that we could see there on Saturday. As you start heading south into the valley, the chances do diminish. So I think a better chance for places like Redding, for example, on Saturday. But really, don't get too excited about what you see there on Saturday, because most likely it won't amount to much. But at least it will be some much needed, we'll take whatever we can get, but it will be some much needed shower activity if we can get that. Cooler over the weekend, back into the low to mid 90s by Monday through Wednesday of next week. That's your morning update. We'll see you right back here at noon.
Cottonwood Small Animal Clinic is one of the only clinics in the area that can see your pet same day and for evening emergencies. We're always striving to improve the care that we give to your pets.
Here at Cottonwood Veterinary Clinic, we have 10 brilliant doctors here to provide your pet with amazing collaborative care. From not only your dog to your cat, but also your gecko, your horses, your goats, and your cows. Come on down and see us. Both clinics are located in the heart of Cottonwood.